Well, all right. What's up, folks? Good morning. Good morning, man. I wanted to do this live on this Adam22 Munchie B incident because I know me and my cousin Deuce Tom was talking about it yesterday. And I had seen a clip, but I didn't actually watch it. I just seen in the clip that I was seeing on Instagram where they show, and this is the way that the clip was framed, where they show Adam22 just going off on a Munchie B, the hand gesturing, it almost appearing as if he's putting his finger in his face, shoving his hand away, and just going off at him. And Munchie B just kind of being submissive towards Adam22 is how the clip was framed. But in that live stream where Adam22 is going off on him, Adam22 is in the right. Adam22 is definitely in the right. And a lot of these dudes, man, who come up as being what the hood terms as being real dudes, stand-up dudes, because of the work they done put on other black dudes based off of colors and the ignorance politics that takes place and has shaped the environment that a lot of us come from. Environments that have really set us back. Environments that have really placed a dependence on a lot of these dudes who come from that lifestyle and culture to where their everyday dependence on drugs and alcohols just to clear their mind of whatever traumas they're faced with, and them using these devilish, I don't know what to call these outside of drugs and alcohol, but looking for other words to frame the context behind their dependence on substance and stuff just to get them through their everyday in life. But Adam22, like I stated, he was absolutely right. This dude showing up to their telecast with a bottle in his hand, inebriated, just out of his damn mind. And to the point, I even looked at the rebuttal because I took my time in watching this before I frame an opinion or any other biases arise, because I don't have any of these dudes who I'm not a biased person anyone, so a biased person anyway. So I don't have a favoritism. I dislike Adam22. I discussed it with the type of people he bring on this panel, being black folks that Adam22 puppeteers around. The fact that Adam22 stands in a dominant position amongst these dudes who are probably highly respected, noted within LA gang culture, and even in their hoods, that a guy with a weird ass background as Adam22 has that much dominance and control over these dudes. And that dominance comes from Adam22 being able to dangle a paycheck over the heads of these guys, and these guys willing to turn a blind eye to the weird lifestyle of an Adam22. And Adam22 can come at these guys any old way. What's up, CJ? Good morning. Good morning. He says, all right, all right. But looking at the situation, Munchie B just disruptive. He's not, cognizant. His cognitive abilities are a little bit shot based on what the alcohol is doing to him. Interjecting himself at the wrong time and just slurring over his words, and even in his rebuttal to respond to this embarrassing situation, because it embarrassed him. And embarrassed him for people that he knows, people that respect him, people who hold him in certain light and esteem, to look at him be spoken to in this matter by a guy who many people view as being lesser than him, from a standpoint of being, kind of a warrior stance of Adam22 probably would have never approached Munchie B if he had sight and things like that. But Adam22 approaches all these guys like that. And he's able to approach these guys like that because of their dependence on drugs and alcohol, and needing to fuel these dependencies is the money that they go in here and do content for a damn check. I think a lot of these dudes go in here to get loose, and in their mind frame, they come in before the show's even started. Oh, I'm about to set it off this today. I'm really about to captivate the people, rather than just coming in being your authentic ass self. Just going in there being your authentic ass self, cover whatever the topics are, respond to questioning with a clear mind, a mind based on experiences. These dudes come to these shows with poison in them and shit, poisoning themselves, drugs and alcohol. is the wildest shit. And I'm glad Adam22 talked to this fool the way that he talked to him. And maybe this dude learned to clean himself up. They let a white guy speak to him like a little boy, his slave, his puppet. The same white dude sits there and is a sycophant, sitting back watching sexual acts being performed on his lady, a lady that he is married. And marriage is supposed to be where she's supposed to be solely to you. This lady is shared out. She'll do anything for a buck. And that's what everybody is, a prostitute. Do anything for a buck. Moral standings go out the window. The values of certain commitments people make, matrimony and all that shit is out the window for a buck. But you can expect it from a woman. Women, can, go about that route. But to see dudes supposed to be stand up, so-called tough guys, to sit on the show and allowing themselves to be talked to in derogatory ways, it's the craziest thing, and it's a thing that needs to happen. And I'm glad it's being done by Adam22, because I don't think there's no better person to talking to people in this matter, to waking people up, than an Adam22. I think it was necessary, and I think these dudes really need to start cleaning themselves up. Just because this dude lays this shit out here, the drugs and all that shit, don't mean that you just run yourself to being open to using this shit. And that's just simple as that. It says the Trying Eyes says, let me because I'm driving too. He says that's work life. Wait, what's work life? I'm lost on that. You gotta elaborate. With me in the comments, man, you gotta elaborate, man. They give us like 300 words that we can type in the comments. Elaborate a little bit. I know sometimes y'all responding quickly to what you may hear me saying, but remember, as I'm going through whatever my little spill on whatever I'm talking about, I'm not looking in the comments. So you may respond instantaneous to what I'm saying, but you may write a point and that point just goes nowhere. It's just not understood. And he says same as any job. That I'm not catching anything that you're writing with these comments. Like you should elaborate on it. Like, and then Vlasica says now you're praising that cuck. Says, man, get the fuck out of here, man. You don't hear, then that's what y'all comprehension. You don't hear me praise anything. So what you want me to praise Munchie B for going on there, being a fucking drunk, allowing himself to talk any old way, Adam22 telling him to shut the fuck up, and him not responding to that? So you want me to side with that? Absolutely not, homeboy. Y'all got life twisted. And that's why black folks are so twisted and get treated any old way. Because you're a bunch of drunks who want to be entertained, bunch of high-ass fools, who a weird person, a dude who lives extremely weird in his life, can approach these dudes in this matter. And these dudes don't do nothing. And then you had a panel of dudes while this is going on who never stepped in to de-escalate the situation, to reset the room. They didn't do none of that. So, man, y'all got the game of life twisted, and I don't rock with none of that. And he says it's Adam's fault. Says it's Adam's fault. Says he allows what he allows. Says until he gets annoyed by it. Yeah, anybody is. That's no different than you having a party and you're providing alcohol and all that other stuff. You expect people, because these aren't children, that some adults, when they provide these things, are providing it for people to be able to handle their liquor or their use of these type of substance. I think No Jumper is just a dope fiend ass goddamn platform. Being everything is based around the use of drugs and the use of alcohol consumption. But people are able to control their liquor, control their alcohol, or otherwise you leave yourself in compromising positions when you don't know how to control that shit. And the thing in this predatory world we live in, people will take advantage of that, regardless if you're disabled or not. So that's all on Munchie B. And that fool has to clear himself out. And the fact that he goes on there with other people, one of his people should have intervened in that and reset that shit. Hey, let's calm this thing down. We going somewhere. We gonna get the trip on each other. Let's fix this. And that's leadership. But when people are bowing down because they dependent on a dude's paycheck, they sit there and they submit. And that's simple as that, homie. That shit is the obvious. Regardless, I know people love Munchie B and all that, but Munchie B, this was a wake-up moment for him. This is definitely a wake-up moment for him. And you know what's gonna be the funny thing? Is you're gonna watch how calm and collective and how willing he is to return to that no jumper platform unless somebody gets at him and speak to him. Because you will never be that forgiving and this kind of calm in your response to the way you were treated by this dude. That had been a black dude coming at him that way, and even if he was drunk and responded in the post wake up and analyze and break down, he would have had a much more aggressive tone in his response to it being a black dude. Like, come on, man, niggas gotta wake up. He says, but until, no, not until, he says, but they only do what they do, says what they do there, says because Adam lets it be right. No, they should never be around Adam. They would never, and this is the other thing with black folks and what they allow with white folks. It's no way black folks will hang with another black dude who is doing, you know, weird ass lifestyle shit. Black folks would drag a black dude. We see this shit with Puffy. Adam22 is no different than the life that Puffy lived. Puffy has sat there and drugged through the mud based on his lifestyle, called all type of shit, no Diddy and all that other stuff. No Diddy and all that. Adam22 got a no jumper and it's popular. Y'all say no Diddy, but you go watch No Jumper. Like, get the fuck out of here. No Jumper acceptable, being the white side of thing. No Diddy unacceptable. Write him off. Destroy him. Like, come on, homie. I'm black, homie, and I wake up to everything I see wrong with us, and I analyze that. Analyze everything I see wrong with us, and ain't afraid to speak on it. He says for the let me catch back up, and give me 1 second as I go through the comments and mine. I'm up here dipping, so I got to be mindful of going through the comments. 'Cause I got to run back home. I left my goddamn charger at the damn house, and he says, so I read that one. It says let me see. Lassie Cuss says, Cuck22 says Cuck22 tell these lowlifes, he says Cuck20 tells these lowlifes to come to the studio geek, and they dumb enough to come to their geek. Real, and this is the other thing, how you gotta be stupid. Being an Adam, look, this is the other thing. This is how Adam22 plays these fools. So you'll be dumb enough to listen to this white dude if he told you to come there geek. He's a dude who is known to interview other people's enemies. It's the he needs to become fascinated by it, have brought these dudes around to be entertained by him and to be amazed by the ignorance of their lifestyle and how it's praised and entertained. And then to tell them to come up there high, when they come up there, and the biggest threats to them is about who's there. There's always a thing, don't call this person in because I got the enemy. But Adam22, no, they be sneakily trying to schedule things to where it's possible that two enemies run into each other. And he is forming himself to gaining that kind of power to one day he makes the call. To one day he presses the button and have one of these dudes in this vicinity of one another at the same time, and some shit goes sideways. Like, come on, man. And like I say, a dude like Adam22 will always take advantage of the ignorance of poorly educated black dudes who haven't really woken up to what the hell is happening around them. You don't need the FBI to pull COINTELPRO. You can use Vlad and No Jumper, because niggas is dumb. Man, I almost sound like Gil Scott-Heron. Man, I can really do some Gil Scott-Heron about the current state of the non-intellectual people within our community and on that platform. The lacking in intelligence, homie. I can sound like some Gil Scott-Heron just preaching on that shit until dudes wake the hell up and start really educating themselves and really start figuring things out. starting to lead on their own. You got these other fools, and then just like CJ bring up Brick Baby, you got a dummy like Brick Baby and the other dude who Whack 100 roll with, all these fools facing life over the ignorance of themselves and broadcasting that to be geeked up and to tell these stories while the FBI sits back and watch. I love to be an FBI person and a prosecutor, listen to these idiots tell their goddamn crime stories, which haven't past the what is that, the statute of limitations on what they commit. And the CJ says Brick Baby says used to be high as fuck, and then that's what led to his retardation and him putting out these stories that got him caught up in situation. And then the Trying Eye says I just mean that any job, says your boss is your boss, says that any job, says you either do as you were told, says or you don't work there, says there is no job, says that would be different. Man, these fools got life stories that other people want to have. No Jumper is, and this is how things aren't clear to these dudes, and a lot of these gangbangers who want to starting to use these platforms to kind of create us to be heard, and because there's money that comes along with this, that they go on No Jumper, and this is the thing that AD and T-Rail and them end up having to figure out. The dude Sharp and them figuring out that No Jumper platform is built off of hearing stories on y'all lifestyles, y'all experiences, the fact that you come from this world, trying to do interviews, but these fools go on there because it's easier to have somebody else set up the time slot, do the editing and things like that. So it just comes out of laziness. But ultimately, the people come there to hear their stories. Sometimes some people want to hear their breakdowns, like seeing where their mind may be on something. Some people come to listen to people speak on things because we want to see, how do you view these things? Do we share similar opinions on stuff, or do we differ in our opinions on stuff? And then sometimes people can debate that. Sometimes people can come to a common ground, or sometimes the person giving their opinion can be swayed that they may have been wrong and their opinion was off. And, you have conversations and someone may open you into another way of seeing things and maybe seeing it correctly and you're wrong on it. And it's simple as that. But these fools don't really got to go there. They just believe they have to go there. It's easier because Adam paying out a check, and they don't got to do the work. They ain't got to put the diligence into if they are really serious about content creation, to where you have to edit your things. And with the apps on here, you don't really got to put that much work into editing and creating videos. You don't. And then CJ says I like young Antho. Says he seems level-headed. Yeah, he comes in a little bit more level-headed, but he don't need Adam22. Was that him on the was that Aunt Hefe? Because I seen it was a black dude who was there at the table as well. But I've also heard they say Aunt Hefe has had to raise his voice with Munchie B as well. And that goes back into this communication thing. And that's the thing that was really upsetting Adam22. And I agree with that. And I brought that shit up, a few days ago, about how people lack in their communications. When you're speaking and you have people that interrupt you in the midst of sharing a point, in the midst of you giving off your opinion and making a statement on something, somebody just interrupts you, just interjects and don't know how to carry on proper communication. Being this fool is drunk all over the place and you're trying to carry on a damn show, at some point that shit starts getting on your skin. And I'm sure Adam just didn't reach the point as soon as that guy got there. He kept doing it and wasn't mindful of it. And that's why you don't come into places wasted like that. You just can't do it, regardless if there is liquor and drugs up in the place. You handle your liquor. It's no different you going to somebody's function. We see hood functions and house parties all the time. All right, my bad, folks. I'm back. I ended up coming in the house and that thing disconnected from that car. All right, I'm back. Damn, I had to come all the way back for a charger. But yeah, people going to these places under the influence of this shit because this is kind of the normalized condition in which they believe these, presenting themselves in environments is the way to be. Like these fools got life messed up, and I want Munchie be the mature homie on some real shit. And give me 1 second. Let me dip up out of here real quick. Let me see. Audio clear? But it's sad looking at these. It's real sad looking at the way in which these guys carry themselves, the way in which these guys present themselves to Adam22. He says the audio is out. Yeah. No, I end up walking in the house and that because I'm on the car, that shit had to switch over. So let me see if the audio is back. Are we back good? Back good? Hold on. Let me get 1 second. 1 second. Let me see if I can make it to work back in time. Let me see. I got 15 minutes. Yeah, he says it's back. Okay. And is the audio clear? Hopefully I ain't breaking up. So I know if I had without the certain features, it should be good. All right, cool. It's back. But yeah, like I said, man, these dudes have to wake up, man. These dudes have to mature. Even the streets, even what's acceptable in the streets, man. The degenerate behavior with street culture has to change up. And nothing is gangster about the way these people carry themselves. Bitches out here fighting for retarded ass reasons and no purpose behind what they doing. Like none of this stuff makes sense. Says it's work. Says no need to get loaded. Says and don't touch others without their permission. Yeah, like because that shit becomes annoying when people are already agitating. You want to touch people and be disruptive. It ain't just the touching; it's the fact that you keep being disruptive. And then that shit's gonna annoy somebody. So regardless of Adam22 being this little chump ass dude who I don't even see how these black dudes even go around this fool, but being the fact that a lot of these people are unemployed and shit, that if somebody's handing out a check, these dudes do whatever. You get some of these dudes involved in this kind of lifestyle that do that fake community activism shit. They're only doing it because of check there. They do fake mentoring for youth only because they're check there. They don't give two goddams about folks. Everything's about a damn check with people. We deal in a society in America where everybody's a prostitute and a whore for a check and give two damns about people. And it's just simple as that. But the human need is gonna always win out over people's solicitation of themselves, like selling themselves. Just pull your skirt down. I mean, Adam22 like little black boys. And pretty soon he probably on some low key should be watching dudes on that little platform him and wife run on the R-rated shit, the triple X rated stuff. Be probably having them black dudes doing shit that come from the street world. And then Velocity Cuss says that's on Cuck 22. Says the fuck does he expect? He dealing with scum of the earth, says not professionals. But nah, even people come from that world know how to maintain themselves. You know how to maintain themselves. People need you to give whatever it is you give. If you're providing clear-minded shit, and I think that's what brought them on there. Now you come into this this type of space that Adam22 has control of, Adam22 can cut you. And Adam22 is showing that shit. He's been cutting these dudes left and right. Will use them up. They come off a certain way, and what does Adam22 do? He don't cut the umbilical cord. He cuts the spinal cord. He ain't cutting no umbilical cord. He cutting the spinal cord of these dudes instantaneously. And you got that dude who's a smoked out fool like Lush. He sit there and keep taking the mistreatment from Adam22 and then come begging his way back. That's just like Adam22 was talking about how Munchie B was begging him to come back or some shit when he canceled some show or something. He's like, these dudes depend on these dudes. They run to him. It's like, but man, Munchie B got to clean up that alcoholism. He's probably an alcoholic. He needs to clean it up. The people around him need to have the conversation with him. You can't have yourself in this type of state. If some young fool would love to fucking have you as a trophy. I'm pretty sure there's threats on his life. I don't see why nobody threatened Munchie B's life or any of that, regardless of what his past was with the gang shit. I seen when Tucci was on there, he ain't have too much disrespect. He kind of tipped his hat off to what Munchie used to be in the kind of environment they live in. So I don't see why anybody will, make any kind of threat. I don't see why nobody get out of that. So he should kind of clear his mind of whatever he has and whatever is the cause of him needing the alcohol. Maybe his incident that happened years ago, but you got to wean yourself off of that shit. The best state you don't get from using alcohol is getting to the point to where it give you a buzz. And that's where people don't know how to turn that shit off, because people are dealing with other shit that they ain't never came to terms with. That's why people go overboard with the alcohol shit. Alcohol can have its positives, but the negatives come from when people don't know how to cope with whatever they're dealing with, and they mask their pains and hide through that shit in a bottle and not realizing they ain't doing nothing but making shit worse. And this is the thing, people gotta learn to take shit head on. And I'm a person who's big on talking to people about taking shit head on and stop all that crying, excuse making, trauma, what do they call that shit? Trauma, damn, what's the term? Where people sit in these things and they just bathe in their damn traumas, and it's every day just crying about some past shit that happened 100 years ago, never getting through it. That's what it is. Trauma bonding, I think, is what the term I'm looking for. So, I mean, these dudes got to wake the hell up, man. They are embarrassment to the streets. There's a reason why the Mexican gang member dude can call these dudes butt scratches and all that other stuff. He ain't talking about black folks, he's talking about them. But then when, like me and my cousin would say, a Mexican dude can't never say no illicit shit about black folks. They can say it about black folks who are degenerate in their behavior. Not really saying that because I don't want to give up on my people. I'm not calling them degenerate, but the behavior of them is degenerate. But a dude like these dudes calling people butt scratchers and all that other stuff that Mexicans have picked up on whites as they try to assimilate into American culture and this and all that, growing up in Hollywood area and all this other stuff, don't know who they are, breaking away from their culture, and some of them ain't even Mexican. They a bunch of German descended ass folks whose parents done vacated Europe and moved over into Mexico and been there for decades, and now these people identify themselves as that. But the fact that these dudes are degenerate within their households, the type of stuff they do, the lifestyle their parents live out here doing fruity, zesty stuff. Hold on, let me go through this tunnel. Give me 1 second. 1 second, folks, because I know my audio gonna trip out. Let me see. And damn, I'm gonna get to work on time too. Let's see. And then I'm gonna end it in about 10 minutes. I got about 10 minutes. I'm gonna end this mug. Get my day started. I just wanted to talk on this topic after I had watched everything, and it became clear because I was like, man, I don't know how them fools took that from Adam22, but as I'm looking at it, I'm like, Adam may have not been wrong with this dude up there. He holding a damn bottle in his hand, just like he's strung out on that shit. Like, come on, man, put the goddamn bottle away, man. And I thought he was just doing, he better off just doing the content with Alex Alonso, because I think Alex keeps him in a better space. But there's been times where I've seen him with Alex, I'll be thinking like he seems a little bit faded or whatnot. But I think they hold a great court together on Street Gangs TV. And then let me see, what was I at? And he says, okay, they let me know the audio clear. I appreciate that. And then No Means No says you give people a chance. He says you give people a chance. Hold on, let me make this turn real quick. You give people a chance. Says that's not on him. Says that's on them. Yeah, that's on the people. Yeah, I can't blame this one on Adam22. And I always never have positive words to say about Adam22 or ever be in favor of Adam22. This ain't no code to speak and turn this into some racial crap like everybody doing with the little phony Southsider that made the little racist comments that only, mean something towards degenerate people. We ain't talking about black folks, because people want to get in real deep on the degeneracy of people that come from the Southsiders culture, and a lot about the homosexuality that comes up out of it, the heavy drug use that come up out of it, the betrayal that comes up out of it, the exploitation that comes up out of it. I mean, we can continue to go on. The behaviors inside their households that lead a lot of them kids to fall into a lifestyle of drug use and all that other stuff. And the reason why Donald Trump has labeled them and have single-handedly pointed them out as being of certain type of element, and the reason why they need to be gone from this country. Like, old boy comments don't mean nothing, because old boy got to stare some ish in the face that is targeting people who look like him right in this country. But that dude who said that comment can easily blend in and change his script and then coming out to just being a white kid. Like, these fools got life like twisted. You look into the whole what they call them, Johns or prostitutes, people out here paying for cat off the street. It be their fathers, it be them. The situations with their girls. These girls who mess with these dudes, lives are always in danger because of the insecurities of these dudes. And that's where that comment comes from, because that dude made that comment off of asking a Mexican woman, because they always worried about the fact that their women have these fantasy of black men. And he started that question off asking about Blueface, because she see herself dating Blueface, because on the other side, he has a sick way of thinking about things and viewing it from a sexual nature about what makes us an attractive race towards their women, and why their women constantly running towards black dudes based on what we do in the bed. So he starts that question off because she's date not just a rapper, but dating somebody like Blueface, being a black man, and then going into the African booty scratch, because it may have struck a chord with him that he may have lost a woman who has ran to the other side of the tracks. And that's really what it is. These women are in threat by these insecure dudes. It's nothing for these dudes to ruin their whole lives off of a senorita not wanting to be with them anymore. These dudes is weird. And that dude ain't talking about the whole black race. And I don't know why the black gang content creators are even making an issue out of that. This dude is a nobody. This dude doesn't change anything. We got bigger ish going on inside of this country and things that affect us, that are true, real politics, not street politics, gang race politics, and none of that other degenerate crap. That dude don't move the needle or nothing. He probably ain't even a shot caller within his own organization that he used to belong to. A lot of them Southside dudes are dropouts from whatever gangs they used to belong to. They have all sort of dirt on them. And I mean, that dude comments is just one and where he has an insecurity. And that was him asking a Mexican girl about whether she'd date being a black person. And she knows she would. She just couldn't answer to that fool, because they sneak around all the time. Says he giving them a chance, says don't waste the opportunity. They're talking about the Munchie bees. But folks, let's hold back on some of these comments. I'm about to get ready to get up off of here. Blossy Cuz, let me see. He says, but he lets niggas pipes his wife. Says, man, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about Adam22. He weird, but what's even weird is the fact that he got a number of black folks around him who accept him. He said, don't touch me. He said, but you can touch my wife. Now, I think the thing, but you adding two things into his spaces, they don't belong. I think it was at the moment, regardless of what he allows his wife and talking about don't touch. He was annoyed with the dude because the dude kept being disrupted. And like I say in communication, when you see panels, the most annoying thing is disruptive. Like while you're speaking on something, trying to cover a topic. And people got to overlook when they're in these groups, when they're on these platforms, that the conversation ain't just between you two, they're on a panel. You have to understand that there's an audience. You're projecting even the purpose of why you're there. He's damn fool in their phone testing. And then he says this podcast says isn't trying to change them. It's says it uses them, says and the way they are to says in the way they are to produce content, says so they would see no reason or influence to change says to change from their ways. Yeah, Adam22 know what he's getting out of these dudes, and he'll use them up, get rid of them, and then move on to the next story when they should be able to get their own stories out or make money off their stories. Same thing I was saying with 4 extras. Big money, your hand done blew off. Don't give these fools free content. Charge them. Make them pay you for that, because that is what people want to see. But even 4 extra needs to start educating himself on how to go about handling his business, on the use of his money, because these dudes got to understand, man, you got no work history. You guys got no background. You ain't put money towards nothing in the American system. You guys gonna all end up unemployed. That's why it's such an explosion in the number of young black in the homeless population of LA. Is the way in which these fools live. These fools got nothing they're putting back into a retirement system. They ain't putting nothing away for themselves. They out here buying bottles, smoking big weed, and thinking that shit highlights them as having money and shit. That's always a thing. People faking it and ain't making it. You just sitting here trying to live a lifestyle that you ain't gonna be able to sustain, and it ain't nothing to secure your damn future. These dudes gonna be out here homeless. You better use all the money that you can make off this shit and save that shit. Go buy you something, because they're gonna all be out here on the streets, man. And that's really where I see a lot of that. You can get these dudes hundreds of thousands of dollars and they'll blow that shit and have nothing to show for it. You got no work history, ain't nothing going into Social Security. You're gonna reach a certain age, end up on SSI. You ought to see how ridiculous the money people receive off of SSI. And a lot of these dudes just have no understanding because they're living in such a ignorant states of minds, man. The state of mind is everything. And these dudes live in such an extremely ignorant level in the states of their minds. And that's the thing I hate to see with these dudes. And that's where I'm coming from with that shit. These dudes setting poor precedents, even for young dudes. You cannot become an influential dude in your lifestyle and a mentor dudes if you off that shit and you behave in a certain way, because all these dudes gonna end up. And the worst thing is seeing the way in which life ended for Monster Cody, who's a guy who was praised in that lifestyle, but ended with nothing. Because you gotta get out here and work. You gotta get something put aside. Regardless, you own the business. Even if you own the business, you must also understand you gotta put shit aside. But folks, that's all I got on this one. I'm here. Let me go clock in. I might do some. Hey, on the backup channel, on the channel we do music, we're gonna be doing mixtapes. So we're gonna be doing a mixtape. So if you like music, you got music, we just be sharing music, putting people up on music, playing the music we like, and we're gonna be doing mixtapes. So tune in. I'll set that up on my music channel is Music with Reggie Owens, and then on Twitch is Reggie Owens 76544. But I'll probably be back live later after I get up out of this joint. But y'all enjoy y'all day. Peace.